place where it's conceivable to bring it back because we have such a potential for fine-tuned connectivity. But we're also in a place where karmically we better do something because the consumption and the overproduction that happens when you're not really contextualizing your use intelligently, and what happens from everything being reductionist, science is finally getting beyond the reductionist to holism and holistic. Holistic is without the W, suggests that every piece of everything has all the rest of the information in it. That's a quantum thing in a way when you get to the fact that they call it entanglement. Everything's entangled if you realize we all came from the Big Bang point. And you know what? People think they're disputing the Big Bang. Nobody's disputing the fact that we all came from one point. It's just how did that happen and what was before it. Some people were starting to imagine things from the math side. I have a vision. It's the one mind, yeah, but that wakes up. Once it wakes up, everything changes. This is a one-time event, kids, from the beginning. That's what it feels like to each of us individually. And there's a lot of paradoxical things. The whole thing. Would you expect reality and existence to be mundane logic? It's paradoxical, but it's a paradox that lives as opposed to one that's infinite regression paradoxes don't make any sense and just lock in the idea that it's incomprehensible. It's not incomprehensible because you are it. So beingness arrives to it, and putting it in words is a different story. And putting it into an economy is a whole nother story. And putting it into a global economy is a whole nother story. So whatever myth you want to believe in, we're at the end. We're in a place where we're reaping the karmic consequences of doing it this way, and there's a lot of good stuff there. There is, but we have to step up in the way that only leadership classes and mercantile class are used to stepping up in terms of really taking care of business for real. And then you have these, but the divisiveness between people wanting to see social justice and other people wanting to ground the resources intelligently. I don't want to say that now. That crosses them both over. The ones that want to create resources and see the right wing versus left, an incompatibility. Like it when you're trying to, you know, all the innovation and all that work that goes into making all these things happen. It it comes from a strange off balance incentive where the individual, necessity and cities and incentivizing all these inventions. Okay, whatever. There's the metaphor of the Let's use all the crazy stories as metaphor. There's the metaphor of higher civilizations in the motherships. That could be where we go if we get it right. There's the metaphor of the Anakai, slave labor. Do we want to stay there? Well, we still have a lot of that. We really still do. It's almost, you don't need to go to the Anakai. We already got that. And what was the other one? Jehovah, end of the world, draconians. We have a warring nature. We have lizard brain, but we also have the capacity for higher understanding, and it's not global warming. I mean, the right wing can see the crash from the economic side. I'm beginning to think, and everyone there is locking into the idea. Well, we better get our riches and then put the fence up, and that's where you got this dichotomy. And right now, left versus right, man, both sides are so full of it. I want to say that straight up. And I used to be kind of left, but on the other hand, both sides have a very strong, higher ground that really needs to be honored. And but they're sinking to their lower ground. And the lower ground of the right is that you don't need to change anything, and anybody trying to change us is wrong. And let's just stick to this word about family and Bible, and any other possibilities can be called evil. And they're backing off from that a little bit because